So there we were, it's Gaijin's new game. Is this April Fool's? You tell me, I have no absolute idea. It could be, but this game's called Enlisted. Gaijin just dropped it today. It is open for play right now. This is still what I guess we would call a beta test. It's not that bad, it really isn't. I'm enjoying it. It definitely feels a bit like a Battlefield knockoff. You got 4-man squads. Right now, all the 4-man, you are the only man in your squad, the rest are bots, which is interesting, but the interesting thing you can do is with these bots, you can kind of use them as decoys, so to speak. And that's kind of what I do, is I like to send them up forward and draw the fire from the actual players, or the bots in this case, and hopefully it just works to kind of distract them. Anyways, right now it's kind of an open beta, I guess you could call it. And there's a few things that could use some balancing. There's a few clunky problems with this game right now, like running through windows is very, very weird. Climbing up ladders does not feel right. It's extremely slow. You might as well just be a sitting duck. I wouldn't even bother climbing up a ladder, especially if it's outdoors. And then the tanks are really clunky to play. Like this guy right here, this is an enemy tank. And I know that when you're driving the tank, I'll show you guys that in a little bit, but it's not. It feels very much like Battlefield, but just you don't have a lot of power in a tank. You can run around, you can shoot people, but they're very slow. You know, these are early war tanks. These aren't like amazing tanks by any means. But then again, I'm not a tanker. The only problem I'm having with this game right now is I don't know who's a bot and who is a person. But I tell you what, I am enjoying the hell out of the 1907, the Mosin Carbine 1907. This gun's actually really, really fun. I've always been, you know, because I used to play Call of Duty back in the day. I used to run iron sights on these single shot guns, and they're a lot of fun, especially when you have enough punch to kill someone in one shot. As you can see, it's just, it's telling me I'm knocking out the same person actually up to 4 times. And because there's 4-man squad, each one actually from the enemy's point of view has the same name. Kind of weird, but yeah. I've seen, so far, I think maybe 3 different maps, which isn't a huge selection, but I've only played like maybe 8 or 9 games, and I've only seen 2 game modes so far. This one's more like a domination style, the typical what you used to see in back in like Battlefield. And then there's the 3 cap point domination, which are actually on fairly small maps. But I'm telling you, I'm kind of enjoying this a little bit better. This larger map, there's a lot of people to shoot, and that's one thing I'm definitely enjoying right here, is I'm not a... Like, I don't like to camp, I like to run and gun, but right now I'm getting so much going on from this one spot. But the biggest problem is, if you look, I'm kind of spawn camping them, and that's one thing I've seen a lot with this game so far, and that's one complaint that I've seen from other people that are playing it today. And that is, like I say, you get spawn trapped, and it doesn't take much to do it. So, I'm not exactly sure how to fix that, but we'll talk about fixes later. We're just talking about the regular gameplay right now. Like I said, kind of clunky, not polished, but I haven't seen a whole hell of a lot of glitches. And that's actually saying a lot for a Gaijin game, I gotta be honest. There's usually a lot of issues with Gaijin games, but yeah, as you can see, I've been sitting here next to this tank the whole time. I can't kill him, I don't have grenades on me, but he hasn't done anything to me. He has to work really hard to kill me because I can just walk circles around him. Anyways. As you can see, I kind of suck with this car. I finally die because I ran out of ammo in my 1907. I do love that 1907. It is a blast. But what about tank gameplay? I know you guys are probably curious about this. Unfortunately, this is one of the smaller maps. It's the first map I played. This is where you have the 3 cap points, kind of like capture the flag, I guess you could call it, or domination. I don't really know the difference because I don't play this type of games that often, and I'm definitely not a tanker. So if you cringe watching me do this, I'm sorry. I thoroughly apologize right now. But I can tell you one thing, this is not like driving a tank in War Thunder, probably closer to maybe a little bit like Sim, but you know, we got the gunner, the driver, and the commander, and I hopped into these other seats and I don't really understand the point of them because, yeah, you can drive it, but I could drive it from this gunner point of view too, and I don't really understand what they were going after with that, but it is very, very clunky. The turrets are very slow. Like I said, these are older tanks, and I kind of just use my steering to aim myself, but... So we're trying to get onto this cap point here. There's nobody over here fighting me for it. And thought maybe I was a little off the zone, so I pull over on top of it, and I realized that as long as I'm in the tank, I'm not capping the point, which is kind of weird, so I just kind of hopped out real quick here. And all of a sudden I'm catching it, or I'm capturing the point, so I just hop back in the tank and continue to capture. And now you see, trying to defend this point, I don't think it's very fun. I'm not enjoying it. These guys are throwing grenades at me, whatever they're trying to do to kill me, which, fair enough, but I'm sitting here trying to defend a very small area, and of course my turret will not go that low, and that guy's just trying to run under my... I'm bad at this. I really am. So if you want, you can just watch me suffer for a little bit. But I do get a couple kills. Thankfully, there's not much those guys can do unless they have another tank or grenades. And even the grenades don't do a hell of a lot of damage to this thing. Lots of hits. Right now, I'm just killing the bots. And I'm getting shot from the right. Sorry, from the left. I enjoy much more being on the ground. I feel like that should have killed somebody right there. I don't know why I didn't. And now you see how incredibly hard it is to try and kill someone when they're really close to you. Alright, so let's just not watch WhooptieDo suffer anymore. Let's move on. Alright, so let's take a look at the main menus real quick. I just kind of want to show you guys like the research trees, things like that. I'm not really exactly sure how it's all laid out. We have these campaign rewards. There is other campaigns in here. How do we get to them again? Shoot. Anyways, I don't know. But Allies versus Axis, pretty straightforward on that one. You got your tank crews on either of them. You can upgrade these crews as we go along. Best one I can say is like I've gone through this, I think this is the Assaultman. Let's take a look at this real quick. So as you get through, you get new guns. You can upgrade them as you go along. Of course, it's experience base. You have an inventory. Each guy has a slightly different inventory. I found out that I could load a shit ton of grenades in this guy, though. And so I did that, but it really didn't work that well against tanks. The grenades are kind of clunky to throw them. It's got that old, when you draw the pin, it gives you that arc to shoot over top. So I'm not a fan of that. Very, very slow to throw grenades. Not like some games are. Let's see what else we got. Squad upgrades. As you go through, you can unlock more members for your squad, things like that. So, let's see, have I done it on this one? I need more squad points for that one, so I haven't done that yet. Axis, I have a couple here we can show you as we go along. You can upgrade your guns. I'm not even exactly sure. It says, unlocks an opportunity to receive this item from deliveries. Yeah, it's weird. Let's see, I can unlock a grenade for that guy. Get more squads. I don't have enough points for that one. But, little things, as you go along, you can upgrade. Again, like I said, this Mosin carbine, this is actually one of the first guns you get. I love the hell out of this gun. It's got a lot of punch. When you get to, let's see, this guy has the PPD. PPD is a really good submachine gun, has absolutely no range though. But SVT, not a big fan of the gun. Let's see, a couple of these other guys. Again, I'm not a big fan of tankers, but if you want to see the tank tree, here we go. A bunch of T-34s, KV-2, KV-1, BT-7 when you get up farther. Not sure exactly how long it would take me to get there, but I don't know why those aren't loading. That's weird. Apparently this tank's so badass it can't even fit on the screen. Can't even zoom out on this. Very much like the hangar view in War Thunder though, that's for sure. So we can go back now and take a look. Let's see what the Allies have for tanks. Oh wait, no, that's the Allies, sorry. Go back and look at the Axis tanks, see what they have. So if you guys are curious as we move along, I don't know anything about tanks, but you can look at them and say, "Ooh, that's pretty," because, well, I know nothing. I'm not a tanker. I like to fly planes, and tanks don't fly that well. But here you go, guys. Pretty, pretty, pretty. That looks kind of cool. Huh. Yeah, maybe some of the other have tanks. I don't know. Anywho, back to the gameplay. Like I said, I do enjoy the ground run. The PPD, yeah, PPD is a pretty good machine gun, submachine gun if you want to run around with that. And there is a lot of upgrades as you come along. And I will say there's a lot of room for upgrades. And as you go along, they definitely seem to improve your gameplay. Maybe the tanks get better. I don't know. You can tell me if those tanks are a lot better than the ones we get because they don't really feel that great. But I like to sit on top of them because I'm entirely sitting. I flank the enemy right now. I'm behind them. But I can't hit him. Anyways, enjoy this fail. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them for you. I don't know if I can. I mean, everybody's still new to this game. I haven't figured it out. I'm going to probably play it just a little bit more, though. It's really not that bad. Probably worth a shot if you guys like games like this. Let me know what you think, guys. We'll see you around.
patrol.